Welcome to this presentation of the Res equation and the spreadsheet Res and the Siena Equilibrium 3.04b, as we can see in front of us. This version has been written to the mantra from chapter 2 of Paul Krugman's book, End This Depression Now. Your spending is my income and my spending is your income. Part 1. Your income, my spending. We start at column AE. We'll start here at the top in large letters. We see 16 equal sectors of my spending in 2024, mostly manufacturing and construction. Check the É Éfficiency has a value of 90%, which it does. Now we have 16 sectors that each spends 154 million and change, mostly on manufacturing and construction materials. Now please navigate down to EA28 to see another 16 sectors, this time of your income in 2024. Now scroll to the left and column X28 and the second 16 equal sectors of my spending in 2024. This time the sectors are government, labour and interest on loan. Lastly, scroll up to X3 for the second set of 16 your income sectors. So in total we have 32 sectors that sell, my spending, and 32 sectors that buy, your income. Part 2. The Siena Equilibrium. We now have 32 sectors, half of which produce and half consume. The Siena Equilibrium is the mechanism used to balance the production and consumption so that at the end of a cycle a balance is created. Unlike a standard country's economy, most of the money that started in one year of the economy is there at the end. In this case, with an E of 90%, 90% of the money the network starts with in 2024 is still in the network economy in 2025. This example does not present a perfect your spending is my income trade balance, as we are working in only 32 sectors, where in fact we would have hundreds if not thousands of companies. And the more different companies there are, the easier it is to balance and create a perfect symmetry. Note also it seems a lot easier if one can use spin, so a number of exchanges within a year. We will look at this point later. Returning to the spreadsheet, if we return to X4, we come to the second 16 sectors of your income. In 2024. Before looking at the conservation of revenue, let's have a quick look to the left and see the simulation continue to 2025. First, scroll to L4. And see that in fact each sector starts with 343 million and change, from which half is deducted for tax, labour and interest, seen to the right. Tax, labour, loan, percent, interest repayment. Critically, these deductions are in network credits, which are like a US dollar gift voucher redeemable at any network company within a set time period, in this case before 2025 and 1 year. But unlike the US, where banks reinvest deposited money, leaving only 5 to 10% in actual currency, all the initial revenue is in the network central bank in cash in US dollars. If for whatever reason Res is not permitted, this would change and the network would follow the standard bank deposit method for increasing the money supply. Continuing to the left, we come to column I and a repeat of your income, but now moved to 2025. This set of sectors then sells to the 16 sectors in column G, which become my spending in 2025. Note that this point is the starting point of the Res Spin Free presentation. See spreadsheet tab Res Spin Free 2.05 here. The Law of Conservation of Revenue, Part 3. Moving to the right, please navigate back to column AE. Okay, let's do that. Here it is. and then AG, the initial revenue column. Now look at the bottom and we see 2.4 billion if E is 90%. Now look at the, and below the figure 4.9 billion, which includes the second 16 sectors of 2024, my spending at AG 45. So we add this to equal this, 4.9 billion conserved. That figure is 90% of 2024 investment. To simplify, none of the 8 additional income revenue streams in column AJ, see here, from 2025 are allocated to 2024, when in the real world some would add to initial revenue, and in particular aid. Note also that there is no investment after 2025. Returning to the 4.9 billion law of conservation revenue figure at AG 22, this is now the initial revenue left in cold hard cash US dollars after the first year's trading. So the network has lost 549 million but retained 4.9 billion. I call this the law of conservation of revenue, initially inspired by a desire to better understand Professor Hawking's teachings regarding the law of conservation of energy, now a significant economic system in the S-world stable. If that is, I have not made an error, ? In conclusion, please compare the retention of 90% of cold hard cash by this network of businesses to a single business without the network. For a single business starting with, say, 20 million, it can be made efficient and maybe it'll make 30 million in goods, but it needs to sell them to make a profit. And if it does not make the sales, it's out the game. This business needs the sales, and the sales are by no means guaranteed, especially for a new company. However, the same business within this network design starts in 2024 with demand for 20 million, and due to the law of conservation of revenue is guaranteed 18 million in sales the following year. And so in 2025 it only needs to generate 2 million in sales, which when we consider the law of diminishing returns is almost infinitely simpler than looking for 20 or 30 million in sales. And in addition, because new sales and aid create more initial revenue, the rollover of cash year to year increases, as we will see in the next video. Thank you.